Hello and welcome to my Yuppie Psycho Speedrun tutorial. Now this tutorial will only explain the glitches, I won't explain the route here. Now the reason I'm not explaining the route is because the game's quite linear and if you play through the game casually you already know where to go and what to do. And for things such as when to pick up which item or the marketing department, we don't know the definitive optimal route so far. Anyways, let's start with the first glitch. Now right after entering the library for the first time, what we need to do is pick up the flashlight and the batteries and run straight back out to the archives we just came from. Next up we need to save here. It's really important that we pick up the flashlight before we save, otherwise we'll basically just soft lock the game later. And now we can do the library normal, however for this video we're just going to load a save which is already in the secret room. Now saving here, it's not necessary, however you can do it because as a safety measure, otherwise the run's basically dead if you fail this glitch. Now the way it works is we go to load soul and select the save we just created, we hover over it and then we press enter and start mashing the interact key. This is called text box storage, and now we teleported out of the room but the text box is still going and we can actually take the book, and if we look in our inventory, here it is. Now what this skips is essentially quite an annoying and RNG heavy boss fight in the library, and however if we were to go inside, which I'm just going to show off now, you can see the path is blocked and the spider's still there, so that's why we need to pick up the flashlight before we save, otherwise we need to go back in. Now the second glitch happens right after we got the book and are heading back down to the 5th floor. This is one of the major tricks which we will use throughout the run again and again. It's called control panel cutscene bypass, and it works quite similar to punch carding in Undertale. So the way it works is you go into the elevator and you see this control panel here. This counts as a cutscene which stops us from moving, but if we load a save and then start mashing interact, oh I didn't get it this time, okay just trying again. If we load a save file and start mashing interact, we can we get a second time in here, and as you can see we still have the well, more like if you can hear, we still have the menu open, but we can now interact with everything. The only important thing you need to worry about is if it hits either the bell, 6 or the open, you will exit the status, and the way we use it is we are talking with Sintra now and we're just pressing escape to exit it, mash through the text, and as soon as she starts moving we go here and we can exit again. Now one thing I need to mention here is that we need to perform this trick every time we enter Sintranet from now on. However, that's not a problem because every time it saves time because we can skip the cutscene. The important thing is because Sintra keeps interacting with the top part and changing things there, right now it did not load, so it would soft lock the game and we could not progress anymore. For the other 2 times we need to go into Sintranet and talk with Sintra. It's not a problem because we can use the same setup, and just we need to exit before she starts interacting with the top part. Also something I want to explain at this point is if you're using this trick, you can only move while there are no text boxes on the screen, otherwise you'll just be stuck. It also has some other weird properties with elevators, however we could not fully explore them yet, and in theory it may lead to a tutorial skip, but so far we haven't been able to properly do one. Now for the next trick, it's mostly just how to optimize your movement in Arcorvo's computer. Now what we need to do here is we need to run into Sintra, and she will tell us a code how to get to Arcorvo's flow. Now so far going up here, going around here, going back down, this is the most consistent setup we found. Sadly, it does not always work, and once we get it, she'll tell us the code, just to show it to you again. Because the sad thing is, this is based on RNG, and we can only manipulate it so far. In my current PB, I got a really good one. You just need to go a bit here, go back up, something like that. Yeah. What's stupid is you can't actually just type in the code because it's both random, and even if you know it, it won't work unless you, well, ran into Sintra. That's that. Now the final trick, which is another cutscene bypass, happens right after we wake up from the canteen. What we need to do is save here. We'll always get a paper here, so that should always be an option. Next up, we load any other soul we've created throughout the run from where we can access, well, the elevator panel. From there it's just standard procedure. Getting the panel active, and now we're getting our letter of resignation. However, it's a really tedious cutscene, and what's actually funny about this trick, it was really inconsistent, which is why I didn't get it in my world record run, and it saved like 2 minutes. But while making this guide, I found a crazy consistent way to do it. I really hope we're still fast enough. Usually you wouldn't get damage boosted, we just pick up a pencil and use that one, because then we don't need to close the inventory, which would exit the state. But now we go here, start the cutscene. Once we press enter here, we press escape, and immediately press escape again. Now, as you can see, the camera's moving with us, which would otherwise not be the case. Now at this point, we're out. Usually it goes faster because we don't need to do the because usually we aren't damaged that much. Now, as you can see, we got the letter of resignation, and we can just leave, which I'm not going to do because then I will just die from the stupid mines, but usually that's where the run ends, and that's also where this tutorial is over now. Thanks for watching, and see you next time. Bye!